In a small cliffside village where the ocean shimmered like melted gold, there lived a boy afraid of the dark. His name was Lumo. By day, Lumo was fearless. He would race along rocky paths, chase seagulls, and laugh louder than anyone else. But when the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned deep blue, something inside him would shrink. The shadows grew longer, the silence felt heavier, and no matter how many candles he lit, the dark always seemed bigger. Every night, Lumo carried a tiny handmade lantern his father had built before he passed away. It wasn't very bright. It flickered more than it glowed. But to Lumo, it felt like protection. Until the night the stars began to fall. It started with the strange wind that swept through the village. Doors banged open, windows rattled. Lumo's lantern flickered wildly, and then went out. Above him, the sky cracked with streaks of light. One by one, the stars began falling from the heavens like glowing tears. Panic spread through the village. The sky grew darker by the second. Without the stars, night wasn't just dark. It felt endless. The village elder, Grandma Sira, stepped forward and spoke words no one wanted to hear. The lantern of lost stars has gone out. Without it, the sky cannot shine. The lantern of lost stars was an ancient beacon hidden deep inside the whispering woods. A mystical place where shadows stretched like living things, and even the bravest villagers dared not wander. Someone had to relight it, and before he could stop himself, Lumo stepped forward. He was afraid of the dark, but he was more afraid of losing the light forever. So, with his broken lantern in hand, Lumo walked toward the whispering woods. The forest greeted him with silence, the kind that presses against your ears. The trees towered above like giants, their branches twisting into claw-like shapes. Every snap of a twig made his heart jump. He wanted to run, but he kept walking. That's when he noticed a pair of glowing eyes watching him from the shadows. Out stepped a small, round creature made entirely of darkness. Its body looked like smoke, but its eyes glowed softly like embers. The creature's name was Nox. "You're loud for someone afraid," Nox said gently. Lumo nearly tripped over himself. "You're made of darkness," he whispered. Nox tilted his head. "And you're made of fear. Yet here you are." The words stung. Lumo explained about the falling stars and the dying lantern. Nox listened quietly. "The lantern feeds on courage," Nox said at last. "When fear grows stronger than hope, it fades." Lumo's chest tightened. "I'm not brave," he admitted. Nox gave a soft, almost amused hum. "Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's walking forward while shaking." And so, surprisingly, the creature of darkness led the frightened boy deeper into the forest. At last, they reached a clearing. There, suspended in the air, floated the lantern of lost stars. It was enormous, ancient, cracked. Its glow was barely visible. Around it lay dozens of fallen stars, dim, scattered, lifeless. The shadows in the clearing thickened as Lumo stepped closer. They curled around his feet. They climbed the trees. His breath grew shallow. Every instinct told him to turn back. Nox's voice came softly from behind him. "If you run now, the sky goes dark forever." Lumo looked at the giant lantern. Then he looked at his tiny broken one. He thought about the village, about children who wouldn't see the stars again. His hands trembled. "I'm scared," he whispered. The clearing seemed to listen. "But I'm here anyway." And with that, Lumo pressed his little lantern against the ancient one. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a spark. Small, fragile, but real. One fallen star lifted gently into the air. Then another, and another. Light began spreading through the cracks of the ancient lantern, filling it from within. The shadows didn't vanish. They softened, balanced, as if they had been waiting for permission to rest. The lantern of lost stars burst into brilliance. Across the sky, the stars reignited one by one, returning to their rightful place. The night was no longer empty. It was alive. Lumo turned to thank Nox, but the small creature was fading back into the forest. "You're not disappearing, are you?" Lumo asked. "I belong to the dark," Nox replied. "And the dark belongs with the light." For the first time, Lumo understood. Darkness was not the enemy. It was simply part of the sky. When Lumo returned to the village, the people cheered. The stars shimmered brighter than ever before. And that night, when he walked home alone beneath the glowing heavens, he noticed something different. The shadows were still there, but they didn't feel so big anymore, because now, he knew something they didn't. Even the smallest light, when it chooses to stand, can wake the stars. And from deep within the whispering woods, two glowing eyes blinked proudly in the dark.